here, then I'll run away. I'm not gonna curve and then run for it. I like how I stole that. I didn't want to steal that one. Oh my god. This is a tough mission, yo. Oh my, you know what? It's impossible. Hold on. Okay, now the ambulance is gonna show up now. Why are they like... Oh my god. They are like tanky too. How many shots of the golf club does it take? Yeah, I should have saved some of the health because I am hurting right now. 44 health left. Get some range. You can't get like a 1v1 going.
An easier way to study art is here with Bartleby Learn. Bartleby offers unlimited access to detailed textbook solutions and Q&A to answer virtually any of your homework questions. With over 30 subjects and counting.
Not guilty. Kyle Rittenhouse has been found not guilty on all counts.
All charges.
It was not a complicated verdict. It was not, we don't need to parse all the layers of it. It actually ended up being simple, despite the ups and downs, this incredibly dramatic trial, this jury deliberating for days and days, finding out that the prosecution appears to have hid evidence from the defense. The prosecution had high-quality footage of the incident that night, and they kept that footage from the defense, which only had very low-quality footage. There was the question of, will there be a mistrial? There was no mistrial. The evidence all favored Rittenhouse. None of the evidence favored the prosecution. Even the prosecution's witnesses seemed to play into the defense's hands. I think everybody who was watching the trial, as well as all you were, we were covering the trial a lot on our shows, a lot of us were watching it directly, we thought this is an open and shut case. Kyle Rittenhouse is not guilty, and yet the jury kept deliberating. And the jury was getting threats. And politicians were weighing in, and the President of the United States was weighing in, Joe Biden. And an MSNBC journalist was trailing the jury bus, harassing the jurors. And NBC didn't even really deny that. They issued a non-denial denial. There were threats outside the courtroom. If Kenosha don't get it, burn it down. Direct quote. How did we end up in this trial?
What up, guys? Good morning.
Leftists burned down Kenosha the first time.
It's about to be some shit right here, yeah.
Showed up to a community where he works, to a community where his father lives, and he showed up and he was attacked. And he was threatened, and people threatened him with death, and very easily could have killed him, and he fired back in self-defense. And that's why everyone cares about this trial. They care about this trial in part because of the justice of it all. Is some teenage kid's life going to be destroyed because he defended himself? Is some teenage kid's life going to be destroyed not because of the evidence and not because of the law, but because of political correctness? Because jurors were afraid of the mob outside the courthouse, the leftist lynch mob that showed up for Rittenhouse. That was part of why. But I think the reason why people were so focused on this trial was because we were on trial, not us personally, but our rights, our right to self-defense. If you do not have the right to fire back at people who are aggressing on you, advancing on you, holding a gun.
Okay, so what do you think about the Rittenhouse verdict? I mean, I was duped in the beginning. I'm not gonna fucking lie, yeah. I was absolutely duped. They tried to make this kid out to be something that he wasn't in the beginning. Now, is he like some pro right-wing militia wannabe? Probably. You know, he's like a junior police officer in his town or whatever. You know, he's one of these these good old boys. More than likely, his father, his uncles, and all of that are like good old boys. They just like to go hunting, love their guns, love their country. You know the type of people who may or may not be racist, are prejudiced, are biased, or bigoted. You don't know. You know? But they definitely tried to paint this kid in a certain light. Immediately they were like, oh, he's a white supremacist. But is he really? You know, is this kid really a white supremacist? I don't know. You don't know what people really think on the inside. But as the evidence comes out, and this is something that I knew initially, like the day after the shooting. He didn't shoot or kill any black people. But for some reason, like the news narrative, all they kept saying was 2 people shot at a Black Lives rally, a Black Lives Matter rally or protest or whatever. That's what the news media was saying. 2 people shot and killed at a Black Lives Matter protest. And so that, the way they worded it, you would assume that, oh, some cops shot some black people and killed black people at this protest. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. But the media wanted you to think that that is what happened. And then later on, come to find out that it was a white vigilante, not a police officer, who shot and killed 2 white people, not black people. And so you understand all this, and it's like, eh. And then, so now the racial part is taken out of it. Oh, he's racist. He's a racist white supremacist. Yeah, well, he didn't kill or shoot black people. He killed and shot white people. That's like the opposite of white supremacy. Like, most white supremacists don't shoot other white people. Unless they feel like you're on the opposing team. You know, and they hate that even more sometimes when white people would rather side with black people. That'll piss like a real white supremacist off. And I get that. But as more and more information comes out about what actually went down, and we get more and more video of what actually went down, you can see why the verdict is what it is. You can absolutely see why the jury came to the decision that they came to. Because these motherfuckers was gonna kill that little kid, yo. Or attempt to really do some type of major bodily harm to this kid. And that's without a doubt. And so what does anybody do in that situation? They defend themselves. You know, and I've looked at the footage a couple of times, and I'm almost certain that I would have done the exact same thing. Not even as a kid. I'm not even trying to put myself in the mind frame of a 17-year-old kid. Me, right now, as a grown-ass adult, if a mob of motherfuckers are trying to chase me down, kick me in my head, hit me in my head with a fucking skateboard, try to take my firearm from me, and then someone runs up with a fucking gun aimed at me, I'm blasting everybody. Any and everybody around me. I'm shooting all y'all niggas. Period. Point blank, period. I'm gonna shoot everybody. Back the fuck up off me, man. Boom. Oh, he hit me with a. Oh, boom. Oh, shit, he got a gun. Pow, pow. Nigga, like. I'm just telling you right now, yo. I'm gonna shoot. I'm blasting. I'm blasting these motherfuckers, man. Back the fuck up off me, man. What you doing? See, little baby, not little baby, the baby, he killed the motherfucker in Walmart for trying to run up on him. Same situation. You know what I'm saying? Don't run up on people if you don't want to get shot. Cause this is America. Look when I'm whipping now. Guns, I gotta carry them.
You want some food?
You
want some food?
Not right now. Not after that shake. I'll be ready in a little while. But you close the door, yo?
Just walked in.
But I don't know. People are all upset with this verdict, and I'm not.
Do you want the rest of that from downstairs or no?
What? Sure. Watch out.
Come on me.
Just bought an Xbox Series S digital version. I have the PS5, the disc version. Because the main reason I got the disc version is because I had a couple of PS4 games that I didn't finish. I have a hard copy of Red Dead Redemption. I actually did recently finish playing that game. And no lie, yo, I have like Ghost Recon Wildlands. I have a hard copy of that. I still play the online multiplayer version of Ghost Recon. That's a badass fucking shooter, yo. And other hard copy games that I have that I still want to play, and that's the reason I got the disc version. And yeah, like you say, these shits are super hard to find. I got lucky. My cousin got mine for me. Yeah, my cousin found the copy for me. I mean, a console for me. So, like I said, I just got lucky. Because I was looking. I'm online every day trying to find one. Nope, I had no luck at all. No luck. But then my cousin come through and hit me with the wham wham. And I got it. For the regular price. I ain't had to pay no extra scalper price or none of that shit. Yo, I got my shit for the regular price. Which was pretty fucking badass. So, and I'm still thinking about getting a fucking the Series X if I can get my hand on one, just because the Xbox Game Pass seems totally legit. Yo, I still got protein shake on my mouth. Yeah, but the Xbox Game Pass, I really want to see what that's like, yo. But right now, I'm just rocking with my PS5. I still have 2 PS4 Pros. You can tell it's a Pro because it has the 3 stacks on it. Andre 3 stacks. But yeah, I have 2 PS4 Pros and 1 PS5. And I'm really thinking I might get the Xbox. I had the Xbox One and sold that shit because I didn't play it. They didn't have enough like original content on there, yo. Like Microsoft slipped real bad with that one. But now that they have acquired Bethesda Studios, and they make some of my favorite games, which are Fallout and the Elder Scrolls series. So I'm pretty sure Microsoft is going to try to corner the market with Bethesda to get more people to come to their platform, which is a fucking smart ass marketing move. And so if they don't let Elder Scrolls and the new Fallouts come to PlayStation, I'll definitely buy an Xbox just for those games alone. Yeah, I did see the trailer for that. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, actually. I haven't played I played the first 3 Uncharted, and then like when they turned it into the girls, I didn't play that one. But yeah, back to this Rittenhouse thing, man. Like, I really agree with the verdict. Like I say, people big mad over this shit. I'm not big mad at all. Because I kind of agree with it. So. $2027. But I mean, normally that's how long they take for. Well, I don't know. That's a little bit longer since the last GTA 5 came out. What? How many years ago? 4 years ago. So, in 27, I mean, what? They're gonna take 10 years to make the next game. Normally they take about 6 years for a GTA to come out. For anywhere from 4 to 6 years, which is standard for Rockstar because GTA is the definitive game of my whole entire generation. It set so many mile markers and influenced like almost every game, especially with the sandbox aspect. So GTA is in like on a platform by itself. And so if you want to take 7 years, 8 years, 9 years to give us a GTA game, I'm always cool with that. Take your time, and make it good like you always do. There has never been a Grand Theft Auto game that flopped. Normally, Grand Theft Auto is game of the year every time it comes out because it has such a big fan base and such a big following that we're always anticipating the next Grand Theft Auto. And until the new one comes out, we play the old one all the way up until then, to the point where they just put out the collector's editions for Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. These games are 15 years old, and people still love it, and they still play it like it's a brand new fucking game. Still play Grand Theft Auto. That shows how much impact it has on our culture, and people just love it. And so, yeah, I'll wait till 2027 for a Grand Theft Auto game with no complaints. Just sit back, be patient, and I just know, like, when that shit do pop out, it'll be another Game of the Year, award-winning masterpiece of interactive art. That's all we ever get from Rockstar. And that's why I made it a point to finish Red Dead Redemption, because it's such a good story that, like, I didn't want to cheat myself and not see how the story ended. This is a Rockstar game. Red Dead was that shit too, yo. I don't know. I kind of like how they did change the character at the end, but it's weird, like, because the first game was John Marston, and then in the second game you end as John Marston all over again. It's like, that was a bit of a twist. But then, like, we already know how John Marston's story ends because we already played his story. Taking 16 years for GTA 6. Take all the time you need, man. Take all the time you need. What do you mean seeing how the trial played out? Yo, the defense was on point and the prosecutors were slacking. The witnesses were weak as fuck. Like, once again, the dude, they called the guy who had the gun, who got shot, like, he called him on the stand. Well, did you point your gun at Rittenhouse? Yeah, I pointed my gun at him. Well, that's why the fuck he shot you, bro. That's why the fuck you got shot. Because you're chasing somebody with a gun, and then you point your gun at them, and they turn around and fire on you because you're chasing them with a gun. And that's how people get shot. Nobody was out there was a fucking cop or a volunteer, anything. These are just a bunch of random-ass motherfucking people trying to cause fucking havoc. Once again, the Black Lives Matter whole organization has been co-opted. All of the rallies and protests have been co-opted. Since early on, when Black Lives Matter became a thing and they started protesting, there was always these little insurgents placed and dotted throughout the crowds to cause damage, destruction, and mob think, where you would have FBI agents or some local police officers that would break windows on businesses to get other people started. You know, all they have to do is initiate it. Oh, fuck this! And throw one rock through a window, then everybody's going to throw a rock. And everybody's going to storm the buildings and start raiding and looting shit. And so, I'm always under the assumption that most of these violent protests are turned violent by outliers who just want to see the most destruction possible and want to depict the black community as ruffians, as uncivilized, as threats to the community. That's how they want us to be depicted. And so they get out there and they start this shit to make it seem that is the way it is. But when in reality, the Rittenhouse case absolutely shows the point, in fact, that a white kid shot and killed 2 white people at a Black Lives Matter protest. It's so co-opted that there are hardly any black people there. It's more white people and Spanish people. And the people who are supposedly a part of the protest, they just want to take advantage of the situation so that they can loot and plunder and pillage and cause destruction and then blame it on the black people. Oh, what happened? It was a Black Lives Matter protest. 85% of the participants were white. And they destroyed the city, they burnt shit down, they looted and robbed businesses, and the only people who are going to get blamed for this shit are black people. And so now with this Kenosha incident, no black person was even shot at a Black Lives Matter protest. You know why? Because black people are waking up to this shit and we don't even fuck with that shit no more. It's co-opted so hard that black people don't even want to fuck with Black Lives Matter no more because it's stupid. So now what we have are a lot of white people claiming to be allies and sympathizers of the African American community, and they're not. Oh, going in before the trial even started, before we got 1 day of trial footage, I already knew, like, this kid is not getting murder in the first. I already knew that no matter what the defense or prosecution did, this kid is not going to get murder in the first. And my first assumption was that, you know, the harshest penalty that he would get would be something like involuntary manslaughter and get time suspended where he would be on probation for 5 years with no actual jail time. That's like the harshest thing I thought would happen. And what really happened? All charges was dropped. He don't get nothing. And that's, you know, I can see that. But even before this shit got started, I already knew, like, oh, he's not going to get murder in the first. You're not getting first-degree murder. Period. Point blank. I knew that. They let him pick his own jury. The judge picks the jury. I mean, Rittenhouse didn't pick the jury himself. And then once again, you see the footage of what goes on, and you too. You would have shot these motherfuckers the same way Cal shot these motherfuckers. You would have shot them too. I would have shot them. With no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind would I have shot these motherfuckers. Now, me, would I have got acquitted of all charges? Maybe not. Probably wouldn't have. But the prosecution was sloppy. The witnesses were not reliable. The judge was team justice and let's play the law like it should be. I think the judge was pretty fucking fair. I think that, once again, the prosecution just, they could have made a stronger case, but they didn't. Could have made a way stronger case, and they didn't. The prosecution says, oh, this guy, so what? He set a dumpster on fire, and he had a chain that he was swinging around, and he used the N-word saying, I'm gonna kill you, nigga. That's not that bad, is it? And so what? He came at you with a gun, and he kind of like point the gun at you a little bit, you know, and saying he was gonna kill you while he was pointing a gun at you after somebody hit you in the head with a skateboard, but you should have fought your way out of it. You should have used your fist. Because everybody gets in bar fights. You know, people get... He brought a gun to a fist fight. Come on, man. He brought a gun to a fist fight. Everybody gets in fights. You should have tried to fight your way out of it when someone has multiple weapons. And they're trying to take your weapon. Oh, you should have used your hands. You shouldn't have shot those people. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. That shit don't even make no sense. The prosecution made no sense. Nah, my socks been holding up, yo. You acquitted? Nope. Police would have shot you. I would have walked with my hands up like, hey, cops, I just shot somebody. Pop, 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 pop. They would have lit my ass the fuck up. You did what? Nah, my winter socks been holding up for a couple years. I might buy some new. My shits are good, yo. The Ed Hardy's, you know what I'm saying? The heels holding up real nice. No holes in the heels. No holes in the toes.
Come in if you're coming in.
And I've had these socks for fucking, I think I'm going on 4 years. Motherfuckers, yo. Like three or 4 years with these. I got 2 packs of these Ed Hardy socks, and I got 2 packs of fucking Timberland socks a couple years ago. And I haven't had to purchase no more winter socks. And these are like the thin ones. But I got like a couple of pair of like real thick, like Timberland snow socks. Them shit still holding up pretty good. So, I don't know, socks and underwear, man, I try to hold them bitches as long as I can before I replace them. And then if you look in my sock drawer, like, and my underwear drawer, like, I don't got no more room for socks. My sock drawer is fucking stuffed to capacity, yo. I got so many fucking pair of socks, yo. Like, so many socks. I would literally have to throw away a bunch of socks just to make room for new socks. But, I want to see some of this Rittenhouse footage, yo, again. So that y'all can see the same shit, yo.
Biggest thing that we can do with this show, what we've done with Kyle Rittenhouse.
I think he showed it on this one.
Forward, this hand is behind this hand. You can see it. Keep it what they claim.
La-di-da,
Part of his
Mr.
elbow, part of
Fancy
his arm
Socks
is
with
arm
no
is covering
holes
the
in
sock.
them.
Yeah.
Yo, man,
Okay.
don't be.
Do we all agree just like the defense, just like forensic experts, if that is in
Hey, man,
fact
I
an
can't
image
help.
and not just an artifact, that would be how.
Hey, all you gotta do is clip your toenails, man. You keep your toenails clipped, you won't rip fucking holes in your socks, man. All right, now look close and tell me in this situation,
Go ahead.
if you had a gun, what would you do? If you had a legal firearm on you, it's legal because technically it was legal for him to carry that type of gun. It's an open carry state. He is of age to carry a hunting rifle. And this is the thing. He did nothing illegal. Him having the gun was not illegal. So, once again, in this same situation, if you had a legal firearm on your person at this time, and the same exact occurrence happened to you, what would you do?
Roll clip C1.
Anthony Huber hit Rittenhouse with a skateboard.
Now look at how the gun as he rotates. There. Look, you can see the sling. You can see the sling there, how it's tight, right? He can't even. The guy's trying to pull his gun away.
You can't do it.
That's how far the gun is taken from his body, which is almost none.
Yeah.
In other words, he has anyone out there who knows firearms knows that you'll often have a sling adjust. Either you're carrying it for long distances, doesn't really matter, or if you're carrying it so that people cannot take it from you, or to assist with recoil, you're going to adjust the sling so it's braced against your shoulder.
Yeah.
So we see that time and time again. Right-handed grip, down, and the sling is tight. Here's a string. Okay? So the string taut throughout that image whenever it's against Kyle's shoulder, and you see this in other images.
Okay, so what you see is this first dude, he runs up. He kicks this motherfucker in the head, yo. Runs up and kicks him in the head. This dude right here runs up and motherfucking smacks him in the head with the fucking skateboard and then try to grab his fucking gun while he's on the ground. Like they already clipped him. He was running. Somebody clipped him. He falls. This guy right here kicks him in the fucking head. This guy right here beats him with a skateboard. And then the other motherfucker runs up pointing a gun at him. What would you have done? What would you have done?
Anthony Huber hits Rittenhouse with a skateboard.
Now look at how the gun as he rotates. There. Look, you can see the sling. You can see the sling there, how it's tight, right? He can't even. The guy's trying to pull his gun away.
You can't do it.
That's how.
Anthony Huber hits Rittenhouse with a skateboard.
Now look at how the gun as he rotates. There. Look, you can see the sling. You can see the sling there, how it's tight, right? He can't even.
Yeah, I don't care, yo. I'm shooting niggas. That's what a gun is for, nigga. I'm on the ground and y'all still attacking me while I'm on the ground? You trying to snatch my gun from me? What are you gonna do if you get my gun? Shoot me with it? Nah, nigga. Anybody who touching me right now, I'm killing all y'all niggas. You just kicked me? You got a gun pointed at me? I'm trying to shoot all y'all fuckers, yo. That's why I don't need no big gun like that, yo. That's why I just need handguns to keep in the house. So I get big guns like that, I already know, man. Anybody piss me off in traffic, I'm popping the trunk, nigga. I'm laying down everybody in your car. You got kids, fuck that baby. Now everybody's saying too is like, and the only thing I do agree with, you put yourself in that situation. Did you have to be there is the question. No. But was him being there and him having a gun illegal? No. So it's all about how you feel about it. And we can feel different ways about it. But once again, in the court of law, the defense team and the prosecution team, they argued the facts and one side won. And once again, it's all white people. So I ain't really got no dog in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the judicial system is skewed and slanted towards minorities, especially African American men. So we already have this negative connotation about who we are as a demographic population in itself. Black men are bad. And that's the narrative in this nation. Slowly trying to crumble down, especially if you're gay. Then you're a good black man. But America holds this idea that black men are bad. And so if I do anything, even if I am defending myself, legitimately defending my life, I would not be afforded that same opportunity in a court of law to express my innocence, because I'm already looked at as something inherently bad, something inherently criminal and deviant. So if it was a black man in that situation, I would feel a different type of way, about the whole thing. But once again, it's just, this is a whole white people situation, and it shows how white people handle themselves amongst each other when it comes to, high stakes court rulings like this. Simple as that. They're going to try to play fair and by the rules, but at the same time, it's a young white man who murdered some older white guys, and, these weren't good people, honestly. And so I still feel like under the circumstances, I would have did the same thing. I think he responded the best way he could in that situation, but the thing is, you put yourself in that situation. Not even putting yourself, you wanted to be in that situation. You wanted that type of scenario to happen, is what I believe. And I don't know what this man think, and I can't honestly express how he feels, but I believe that he wanted to be in a situation where he could put as much of his tactical knowledge into play, whether it's because he said he was a first aid responder, so whether it was like issuing medical aid to someone who was severely injured from wounds or lacerations, or whether it be him putting out fires started by the protesters or rioters, because there was a video of him running by with a fire extinguisher in his hand, or whether it's him actually using his firearm in a self-defense manner to protect him or whatever businesses, once again, against other armed would-be rioters. So he wanted to be there. He was looking forward to that shit. He was only 17 at the time, but his whole life he just watched all these fucking action movies, The Good White Cops, and they say he just comes from that good old boy culture. His dad probably had him out hunting since he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? He just one of those type of people. Even at 17, he just like, because technically he's grown now. He's 18 now. He can get out of school and go into the fucking military if he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? So at that age, it only take a couple of years to learn some really like extreme tactics and shit. He just wanted to be able to use that shit. Mama says just be ready for when it goes down. That's why I'm always out here. I practice shooting 6 hours a day on the weekends. I joined the ROTC. I'm a part of my local Boy Scouts. I'm in the junior militia. I'm also in the junior police academy. That's all I want to do is protect my community. Breaking news: Rent-A-Center has the PS5. I'm not renting that shit, man. Rent to own that shit. They say you still gonna pay $1,000 for that shit because Rent-A-Center got them fucking high ass. Watch out. Move. Right, man. Rent-A-Center got them high ass payments on that shit, man. Fuck that, yo. Mm-mm.
Get out.
Let's go. 'Cause I need to go take a piss too.
She should need to go out again. She just went out. I don't know who got to piss more, Travis or the dog. Cold in here.
He said my TV sound system paid off.
Yes, boo, what? Did you use the bathroom? Alright, get off of me. Your paws are cold. Get off of me. You gonna get in my lap?
What is wrong with you, bro?
So extra. I will walk you today. Leave me alone. I'm not spilling my pants already.
Alright. So I want to.
Babe, back to this.
Oh,
I don't know.
I want to. I want to work in some purples, I think, and do her sweater in those purples. Actually, I might work on his glasses just because that's fun to do. I keep thinking about getting me a sound bar. I got this this VR game called Beat Saber. Yo, and the music on there is, it got some pretty dope music on there, yo. So then, if I had like a real speaker beating that shit out while you playing the game, I know that shit would be fun as hell, yo. Just have that shit like really knocking you. I know that's right. No, yo. I'm trying to think, have I ever got something from Rent Center before? I know my cousin boyfriend used to work there back in the day, yo, and when they got their apartment, yo, of course they had the nicest everything, all the kitchen sets, bedroom sets, yo. But he had employee discount and shit, but still, like, fuck that, yo. I feel like just save up as best you can and buy that shit, yo. But now, trying to get my credit better. It's weird because I really don't have credit because I never use that shit or nothing like that. But I'm trying to, and I think I might start using credit more, yo. And see if I can make some investments with some credit. Get 5 separate speakers for true surround sound. Oh man, I had that joint. Well, the last one I had was wired, and now I know they got like wireless systems now. But I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I don't like how the speakers be looking, yo. Like some of the speakers, you gotta have them up in the corners, and I don't want to kick out for like the real expensive ones that look like nice and like kind of blend in and shit. Like the system I had, they were just like some big black like square speakers. I was like, man. But I don't know. I would rather have separate speakers, front, left, and right. The subwoofer, some sides, and some high left and rights for the back. And they just be looking weird all around the house and shit, yo. So today I wanna see how close I can get to finishing this piece, yo. Cause there's not much left. I have to do uh, his glasses and his jacket and shirt and tie one more time. Well, all his clothes. His clothes and his glasses. I should have said that easier. I worked on her shirt a little bit this morning, and so now it's just her purple sweater that she's wearing on top of her shirt. I can detail that a little bit more. And then that's about it. That's like the main thing. All of that'll be done. Her sweater and his clothes and his glasses. And then after I do that, I'll look at it. I may add some more details and highlights to her hair. Maybe some really bright highlights to his skin. And I may add some more shadows to her face. Just a little bit. But like it's not like much. Honestly, there's like probably about 4 hours of work on this thing. Maybe. Probably got like 4 more hours left. So I probably won't finish it today. I don't know. I'll try to. But if not, if I take a break when I come back, I want to actually start the underpainting for this piece, which really I should have did it already. But I'm not gonna lie, I've had so much fun painting this painting, I didn't want to take a break because I just could have did this underpainting and have it sitting over there drying, so that when I'm finished with this, I can just start on this. But now, like, I'll have to do this underpainting, and it'll probably be wet for a while, so I'll just have to find something else to work on, which is cool because the client who I did this piece for, you guys remember? I'm sorry, Lou. No, wait. The client I did this piece for wants another painting, and that's why I still have this. He wants both of them to be done and finished, and then I can just send both of them at the same time. So I plan on talking to him today at some point in time so we can discuss his next piece, because these are some really in-depth pieces that he has in mind, and I really got to, like, I don't know, like, come up with a lot of shit myself. So, but this turned out nice. It's different. It is really different from what I've done. I think I may actually go over the sun one more time. This sun looks kind of thin a little bit. I think I had some more yellow in there. Yeah, we might do that real quick right now, cause but yeah. So after I finish this commission, I need to really, like I say, do the underpainting on this commission, and then talk to this client about his next commission, and then I can probably start that. And then there's my friend gave me this website called Cafe, and it's basically it's a website that has national information on galleries and museums that are looking for artists to show. And so it's like a national registry for exhibits, and it's really cool how they put it together. And so you can just look by regions and by state. And so, like, there's a gallery that's in New Jersey that's going to have something soon, and they're accepting artists who aren't local. Like, whoever wants to show, you can just show there. What is this shit called again? Cafe? I got 12 emails. All these shits are like some bullshit. Cafe. Call for entry. That comes right up. Boom. And I think I have. I did. I made an account on here. Alright, so yeah. So I made a profile on here. Now I gotta apply to calls. Calendar. Alright, so there was definitely one. Oh, no. I think she actually, I don't know. Did she send it to my, I think she probably sent it to my Gmail account. My bad, guys. I do want to get this thing set up today too, because it's gonna take me a minute to upload some pictures because oh my god, I hate this two-part sign-in shit every time. Yeah, it's me. Okay, so who sent this to me? Lori sent me this saying, subscribe to Cafe, check this out right here. And this is the Center for Contemporary Art 2022 International Juried Exhibition. The Center for Contemporary Art, Burt Mills Road, Bedminster, New Jersey. Where in the fuck is that at, yo? So, Bedminster, New Jersey is 75 miles, almost 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes from here. But once again, it's an international juried exhibition. So let's look up the center. Okay. I'm definitely gonna put my reader series up in here. This don't look like no shit I can put my weed shit at. No? It looks like a pretty cool place though. It's fucking. It's like an old school building or something. It used to be. That's pretty cool, though. So, but they have a $35 entry fee. That's the only thing that be getting me. Now it's like, I don't like paying to have my shit shown.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers should pay me. See my shit. I'm already paying extra. I gotta pay to travel there and pay to show there. And knowing that more than likely my shit won't even get ranked or placed or anything just because it's so hot, yo. My shit is so good, they hate it. At least that's what I tell myself to make me feel good about my art. You know why I ain't win? Because they just hating on me, man. Because they know I got the hottest shit in there. They can't let the nigga shine, man. They'll never let me get the top crown, dog, man. That's why I got to make my own shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They just hate me so bad because they ain't never seen nothing like that before. And they just, what we say at the bottom? It's all good. I'm going to keep showing my reader series. Fuck that. I don't care how old this shit is. Because my shit is hot. I got a lot of faith in my reader series. It'll probably be easier for me to apply to this shit from the iPad because the iPad saves all my pictures and I don't really like saving any personal pictures on this computer or my work computer. If I was going to do it at work, then it's like, I have to download too many photos onto the computer just to upload them to this fucking portfolio. I better not do that. Then I really don't want to do it on here either, so if I just log in from the tablet, it's got all most of my pictures on there anyway. Alright, so cafe, I got all that information, making sure that was good. Nice. Let's go back to what we were doing. YouTube and something. Alright, I've been here for an hour, over an hour. I need to paint. Alright, so for some reason I lost complete connection with the speaker.
Knows exactly how to create the food, slice it, fry it, boil it, and perform other manipulations in strictly defined sequences. Researchers have already tried cooking a printer-printed chicken with a laser and compared the results with a traditional way of cooking. The results were quite bearable, but the development of the robot continues. Japanese robotics companies are taking over the world. Mujin, known as the land of the rising sun, is opening its first office in the U.S., registering the company Mujin Corp. Mujin's flagship product is a universal control system for any robot. The company's controller uses a real-time perception, motion planning, and universal control to create robots capable of handling complex logistical tasks. The entire solution is designed for rapid deployment and is reliable, affordable, and requires no coding or training of any vision models. It can control any robot arm using machine intelligence, which autonomously plans and perceives movements without the need for human intervention. The DARPA Subterranean Challenge took place in the United States. We'll tell you about the most interesting robots of the compilation, as well as about other robots for the underground exploration in the next coming issue. Engineers from Stanford University in California have developed artificial muscles for robots. The new shape memory polymer resumes its original state after being stretched or compressed by heat or light. The artificial muscle developed at Stanford are stretched to a stable, highly elongated state, which allows them to release large amounts of energy when they return to their original shape. And as a result, the stretched material, when heated, can cause the energy to lift a weight that's 5,000 times the muscle's own weight. Another area where this development becomes interesting is the cost. For 1 kilogram of artificial muscle for robots,
they never did paint a robot? You crazy. You crazy, bro. Watch, bro.
Engineers from the team.
They already got robots making art. I mean, not robots, but computers. They tell the computer to paint something, to draw something completely original, yo. They can do that shit already, bro. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Robots gonna take everything. Everything. They got fake muscles now.
Used 4D printing to create a robot that curls itself into a tube.
Terminator is not real. That shit had never happened.
Also, the robot can climb a hill and even drag a load uphill. The bot is based on a rectangular sheet of liquid crystalline elastomer printed on a 3D printer.
This is what this is why I love science fiction so much. Because once again, if a motherfucker can imagine this shit, he's gonna try to make that shit real, yo. Whatever they can imagine, they'll try to make it a real thing. And we see this shit every time, yo. Every time. And so science fiction, a lot of that shit becomes science fact, you know. It takes some time, but they talking about nuclear fission and motherfucking warp bubbles and wormholes and all this shit, yo. Give it enough time, man. That shit enough time, man. Moon bases, Martian bases, man-made planets and shit. Give it enough time, yo. Motherfuckers thinking this shit, imagine this shit. That shit happen sooner or later.
When you place the sheet on the surface, it's heated to above 160 degrees Celsius. The sheet collects on its own, curling into a tubular shape. The change in shape over time adds a fourth dimension to the process of creating the robot, making it a 4D printed product. Advanced Farm Technologies has raised $25 million for robotic fruit pickers. The startup has already developed a robotic strawberry picker and now wants to adapt the technology.
Yeah, I tell y'all some shit right here. Real life shit. Just this morning, I went to the post office to mail off a money order. Yeah. And so, go to the post office, and there was one lady ahead of me, and then me. That was it. Nobody else was in there. And, but the dude behind the counter, there was a dude and a lady. The lady seemed like she was the manager or whatever, and she said, look, if you get overwhelmed this morning, just call me. I'll come up and help you. He was like, if I get overwhelmed, I'm just locking the doors. She was like, yeah, I wish we could do that. Ha, 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 ha. He was like, I like my idea better. And then the lady left, and then I came up. I was like, dude, I live right around the corner, and I've tried to get a job here, and y'all motherfuckers are never hiring. But you act like you're always fucking short-handed. Yeah, man, Scranton gonna start hiring soon, man. They opening up a new branch over there. I was like, but I live around the corner from here. Like, this would be the ideal, like, government job right here, yo. And he was like, oh, they ain't hiring nobody no time soon, man. They got this new robot coming in. We already ordered it. Man, this thing can sort. I think he said 8,000 pieces of mail per hour or something, yo. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, we already got it. They're already back there moving shit around, making room for this shit to come in. It's like, and there ain't nobody else gonna be working here. I was like, yo, that's crazy, yo. And he was like, you heard about the post office in Texas or California or somewhere? I was like, nah. He was like, yo, there's a fully automated post office. It's all completely automated. Nobody works there. He was like, they got like 1 or 2 technicians who go up in there like 2 or 3 times a week, make sure everything greased up and lubed up and got the newest update programs on it or whatever, and that's it. But there are no like people who work there. It's the weirdest thing. I gotta look that shit up and see what the fuck that looks like, yo. A completely automated post office. The robots are coming, man. They gonna take your job, my job. And then what we gonna have? We right on the verge of this shit. I can't really imagine like my great grandchildren. I can't even really like fantasize like what kind of world they're gonna live in. Like that shit just seems weird. Like, as y'all used to do what? Go to the post office? What the fuck is that? Y'all used to like drive cars yourselves? Like you had to control it? Wow. That shit sounds like barbaric, you know? Why would you want to risk your life like driving the fucking car? All you gotta do is just tell the pod where to take you, like. Intelligent dinosaurs created humans. Then we killed them all. Oh wow. That's messed up, bro. That's a good storyline right there, yo. Intelligent dinosaurs created humans and then we killed them all. Well, basically, they say the lizard people, the Anunnaki were like, kind of like lizard people. Alright, I don't know why I never noticed that fucking sun was really thin like that. I don't know, as soon as I seen that, alright. So I got that fixed. So now, after 6 months, this piece is really finally done now. Oh. I want to play around on this for a little while. And then maybe get this underpainting done. And it's such a up close face, like a really broad face. I'm pretty sure I can like whip that underpainting up in like an hour or less. I don't know if I should give Instagram some love or this or not, since YouTube is kind of dry right now.
I don't know, but Instagram's been acting so funky. How about Facebook?
I don't like going on Facebook. That's why we try to take more people off of it, yo.
Go on your page.
True.
I mean, you don't have to. It's just a suggestion.
I know the last time I was on Instagram, that shit just paused like every fucking 10 seconds, yo.
2 or 3 times.
Pause. It's like, what the fuck, yo?
Apples. The Texas Strawberry Harvester, a robotic strawberry harvester designed to work alongside hand-picking crews, automatically detects and picks ripe strawberries with a soft grip. The purpose-built machine consists of several robots that can withstand the rigors of the outdoors, with computer vision and machine learning technology to navigate the fields and pick fruit autonomously for up to 24 hours each day. And Project Mineral is trying to change the entire farming system using advances in robotics and artificial intelligence. By combining data collected in a variety of ways, from satellite imagery to weather data to soil information, the team is trying to create a complete picture of what's going on in the field and using machine learning to identify patterns. A robot created by the company also roams the field gathering information all at the plant level. The robot, with a solar-powered electric motor and machine vision system, continuously photographs the plants, recording their growth and development, as well as reactions to changes in weather, watering, and fertilizers. Project Mineral is systemizing information to increase yields and expand the list of crops suitable for cultivation in different regions. Bill Gates' Green Technology Fund has bet on Silicon Valley agricultural robots. The startup Iron Ox said it received $50 million from Breakthrough Energy Ventures. The company uses robots that are integrated with a hydroponic system, causing the system to use 90% less water than traditional farms. Now, a 1,000 square meter greenhouse, a robotic machine named Grover moves pallets of basil and another robotic arm inspects them. Sensors monitor the water, nitrogen levels, and acidity. Any excess moisture is pumped right back into the system for additional use. Now the company is building on a new 50,000 square foot greenhouse. And Jeff Bezos recently invested in the immortality startup Altos Labs. The company's researchers expect to discover a way to extend human life by at least 50 years. In the long term, total immortality. The startup is now focused on studying the aging process and developing technology that will be able to change human cells to defeat age-related changes. The research is based on the work of Japanese Nobel Prize-winning scientist Yamanaka Shinya. We'll keep an eye on these discoveries and keep you up to date.
Extremely high-tech $3,000 drone for a fraction of the
Started
price.
getting some of that stock too, yo. The
This
Altos
drone engineer
Labs.
built a revolutionary drone at an incredibly low price, and he just destroyed the billion-dollar drone industry in the process.
The British government has published a 10-year plan to turn the country into an artificial intelligence superpower. Britain plans to compete with the US and China on this topic. The National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence involves training in AI, encouraging local companies working in the field, and attracting foreign investments to it. Support measures will affect many areas, including energy and agriculture. Interestingly enough, the government decided to turn its attention to artificial intelligence after the most promising British startups in the field, such as DeepMind and ARM, were sold to American or Asian companies. But hey, better late than never. Israel Aerospace Industries unveiled the REC Mk2, an unmanned platform that can assess its surroundings and fire machine guns even when the engine's turned off, meaning it remains unnoticed by the enemy. The multi-purpose robotic vehicle can support infantry in different phases of combat. The REX Mk2 with a hybrid engine has a payload of 1.3 tons. The robot's equipped with all-wheel drive and overcomes any obstacles in its path. However, so far it's not autonomous, but controlled by an electric tablet and can be equipped with 2 machine guns, cameras, and sensors. The REX Mk2 is equipped with a situational awareness system, which includes optoelectronic sensors and radar to gather intelligence for units on the tactical front. Airbus unveiled an updated design for its flying electric cab. The company promises to make the first prototype flight in 2023 and hopes to complete certification of the vehicle in 2025. The next-gen vehicle has a strikingly beautiful design and very mediocre performance. Perhaps this is how the company is trying to dispel illusions about the real capabilities of aeromobiles. The 4-seater electric city Airbus Next Gen takes off and lands vertically. It will be able to fly up to 80 kilometers on a fully charged 60-kilogram lithium battery. The flight speed will not exceed 120 kilometers per hour. These characteristics are 2 or 3 times lower than those claimed by the company's competitors.
She said, and every now and again it still happens, but she's fine.
At the same time, the California startup Craft Aerospace showed a 9-seat plane for intercity flights with an unusual design. The front wing connects to the underside of the cockpit, forming a kind of rhombus that ensures clean airflow underneath the plane. Also at the rear of the wings are several blow flaps. They expand and curve downward to redirect the airflow when vertical thrust is required, or retract to continue flying at a certain altitude, and as a result, the aircraft can take off vertically. Piaggio Fast Forward, a subsidiary of Piaggio, has released its second robot, a compact version of the Gitta cargo bot named Gitta Mini. The Gitta Mini's shape and features remain the same as the full-size Gitta. The robot consists of 2 large wheels, a central compartment, and a machine vision system that it uses to identify and track its owner. The Gitta Mini weighs 13 kilograms and can carry up to 9 kilograms over a distance of 34 kilometers. This here is an interesting comparison with the Gitta, which can carry 18 kilograms but only travel 19 kilometers. By the way, the Gitta robot itself is already working at the Seattle airport. The mobile ordering service, dubbed Order C, delivers food to those waiting in line, carries things for passengers, and can also take a turn or a parking space for you. Family Mart will open 1,000 autonomous supermarkets in Japan by 2024. The company's stores use cameras and systems with elements of artificial intelligence, weight sensors, and electronic payment systems. To enter the store, customers will have to install a special application or undergo biometric identification. Opening an autonomous outlet costs 20% more than opening a classic store, but the costs are reduced as soon as you factor in operating cost of labor. Kalashnikov is developing a smart automatic rifle with elements of artificial intelligence that...
What about that, guys? Would you guys sign up for a membership very similar to Sam's Club, to a member supported chain store where there's no one there, it's goods and items, and you go in there, you get what you need, and you walk out, and it's all fucking, your little chip is scanned going in, proving your identification and membership status. You get whatever the fuck you need. The store scans everything, all the products and items as you enter them into your cart, adds up your total, and you just walk out. Once again, your scan leaving, and the money is automatically taken out of your account. Would you guys sign up for a membership to a store like that? That's where it's all self-checkout now anyway. Everybody wants to do self-checkout because it's faster. And I know which bag my sauerkraut is in. And I don't like when they bag it this way. So I'd rather do self-checkout because I'm quicker anyway. And so now it's going to be like, fuck it, there's no employees at all in the store. Just like the fucking post office. Fully automated post office. Fully automated grocery store. Department store. Gas stations.
Accurately aim and shoot. According to sources, individual elements have already been created. It's about complexes with algorithms based on artificial intelligence, which can almost completely automate the process of identification, aiming, and target tracking, as well as the execution of the shot itself. The concern plans to offer the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation to open a research and development base in order to turn the finished developments into mass-produced products. Honda will spend $45 billion over 6 years to create rockets, robots, and flying cars. Moreover, the entire amount is only for research and development. And as a result, the company wants to see if it can create working prototypes and use them to expand its business. It's already known that the company's flying cars will use hybrid propulsion systems for boost. In robotics, Honda will focus on white-collar robots to allow the latter to live and work wherever they want without being tied to one place. And the concern has been rocket science since 2019.
Y'all should see that shit,
and control systems as part of a Honda will spend
Yo, watch this. So you're actually working from home, but you're controlling a robot in the workspace. And that's what I always, even like when I was at the factory, I was like, damn, if we had a way to control these machines from it, remotely, we wouldn't have to be in the factory with all the dust and the noise and all of that shit, and just, work the machines remotely.
Right. Years to create rockets, robots, and flying cars. Moreover, the entire amount is only for research and development. And as a result, the company wants to see if it can create working prototypes and use them to expand its business. It's already known that the company's flying cars will use hybrid propulsion systems for boost.
You just got a
In
robot that you
robotics,
send to work
Honda will
for you.
focus on white-collar robots to allow the latter to live and work wherever they want without being tied to one place.
Wow.
And the concern has been rocket science since 2019 and hopes to use its working engines
White-collar
and guidance
robots,
and
so
control
office
systems
workers
as
can
part
just
of a reusable rocket program that
work
could deliver small,
literally in a virtual
low-orbit
space.
satellites into space.
I just
Amazon
don't know
unveiled
what
its
next
Astro
to the
Home
just
robot,
starts
and instead of a
malfunctioning.
Triumph,
That's what I'm saying. Like, isn't that weird? Is Jen here today? No, she sent her robot in though. Like, really?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna end up watching some Cowboy Bebop without you. I think you caught up to what I had caught up to. Like, we flip-flop.
Yeah, I fell asleep again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you didn't even catch up all the... Well, yeah, we're at the same spot now.
I'm like right to the end of episode 2.
Because I had seen everything with the lady. And space and all that. And you were asleep.
Are you guys watching that? Cowboy Bebop?
I'm not gonna lie. It took a minute to grow on me, but after, like, the second episode, now I'm like, okay, I gotta finish watching this shit.
Yeah.
Now, if Ozark comes out, that shit is getting kicked to the curb, but for now... Look.
You just sound so nasty.
Right, just in here licking, scratching, sniffing. Look. That's why your breath stink now. Stinky girl. I don't want your paw. I don't want your paw.
Now I'm getting hungry.
I was just thinking about food. I mean, we got everything left over from last night except for scallops. And, we got potatoes down there if we want, like, fries or something. And there's grits left over, too. And I got a bunch of fruit. Well, not a bunch. A little bit of fruit.
Oh, I'll have some fish and grits. Yeah.
If you want eggs, too, that's fine. When you buy like a thing of asparagus, if you looking like it's gonna be so much, and then by the time you cook it, it's like, oh, damn, you definitely should have got another bunch of it. You get in the bath today. Today. You getting old, boo.
Itself the target of ridicule. But first, about the robot. This 60-centimeter tall Astro weighs 9 kilograms and rides around the house with meter diameter wheels at a maximum speed of 1 meter per second. The screen is similar to the Echo Show 10 screen, and it uses a 5-megapixel camera for video calls. The voice-controlled robot can map and navigate your home, recognize faces, and work as a security guard. It can be used to set up a video conference sitting on the floor, grab you a cold beer, and pour it for you. Entertain a child, listen to music, or watch your elderly relatives if they will allow a robot in the house. Does all of that justify the $1,000 price tag for first-time buyers and $1,500 for everyone else? Let us know down below. No sooner did Amazon announce the robot, a statement from the developers surfaced online claiming the robot is not worth its money. It's not rugged, it's not smart, and it will fall off a ladder if it gets there. The company immediately issued a rebuttal, saying that this was not true of the latest finalized version of the robot, but critics were not convinced. The robot can only move around inside a flat room. It doesn't have its own manipulator. Many of its functions are only available to subscribers of other Amazon services, and there are big privacy concerns because it constantly monitors and records. The only encouraging thing is that the company said this is only the first of many of these type of robots. So let's wait. Maybe with additional funding, Amazon can do better. Jeff Bezos, or rather his companies, had no luck at all with employee loyalty. Recently, a group of current and former Blue Origin employees published an open letter in which they said they would never fly the company's ships because they don't think any of them are safe enough. The letter, which was drafted from 20 former and current employees, all of which are anonymous except for one, although CBS News claims to have spoken to 5 others. The letter alleges that in 2018 alone, more than 1,000 reports were made to the company about problems with rocket engines, but never addressed. Employees also complained that there were exorbitant workloads and the company being stingy. However, over the summer, 17 leading engineers left Blue Origin, many within a week of Bezos' flight. The reasons for these resignations are not quite known. Getting back to the home robot, we should mention that Amazon has also opened a pre-order for an autonomous flying camera for home security, the Ring Always Home Cam Drone. It can fly around the premises of the property along preset routes when the Ring alarm sensor is triggered or given a command from the Ring app. The main advantage of the development is that the camera takes pictures of your home only when you want to, and the rest of the time the lens is closed by the docking station. The cost of the Always Home Cam is $250.
Your team is building the next great product. But with countless hours spent sourcing vendors, going back and forth on quotes, and chasing down order updates, you're losing precious time. Enter Fictive, a digital manufacturing ecosystem that gets you high-quality parts on demand to help your...
JR Holding ASI has invested in a drone manufacturer, Prometheus. The company has developed and tested a prototype robotic drone that's ready to begin the certification process under the latest EU regulations. With the money raised, Prometheus plans to produce more than 100 drones next year and up to several hundred drones in the following years. The Prometheus GSM-007 drone has an unusual design. It has 3 groups of 2 propellers, a hybrid power plant providing up to 5 hours of flight time, and a control range limited only by GSM, LTE, 5G networks, and satellite communications. The cargo drone is transported in a car trailer. The Chinese company Ehang introduced a new 2-seater unmanned aerial cab ET-30 for flights up to 300 kilometers. The aircraft is designed on scheme of an airframe with a rear pusher propeller, 8 engines, and propellers on the frame. The company plans to produce 600 aerocabs a year, and it will be the first of mass production of these type of vehicles. The Chinese company Hesha Tech introduced the 2nd generation of its development of the Hesha DNEST-2. It's a terminal that independently lands and charges drones of different modifications and manufacturers. The DNEST-2 provides drone control and data transfer in real time, and it can be set apart from its competitors with mounting and charging system using a frame on the drone and rails on the terminal. NASA has completed testing of the Lucy spacecraft, NASA's first project designed to visit Jupiter's Trojan asteroids. The spacecraft has already been fueled and is preparing to be assembled into a special protective capsule, with the mission scheduled for launch on October 16th. 2 asteroid clouds are moving around the Sun, one ahead of Jupiter and one behind it. Lucy will be the first spacecraft in Earth's history to visit them. By studying the asteroids up close, scientists hope to sharpen their theories about how planets in our solar system formed 4.5 billion years ago and why they ended up in their current configuration. In all, the ship will visit 8 asteroids in about 12 years period. ABB has developed the fastest charging station for electric cars, the Terra 360 modular unit with a capacity of up to 360 kilowatts. Is capable of charging 4 electric vehicles at one time. The company claims the station is fully capable of recharging an electric vehicle's battery in just 15 minutes and replenishing the range of up to 100 kilometers in just 3 minutes. The Terra 360 will be available in Europe by the end of this year and in the USA, Asia, and Latin America as early as next year. Engineers have created the loot box robot from the game Apex Legends, and it really works. YouTuber Graham Watson, aka the 3D Print Space, spent 8 months designing, assembling, and programming the robot. The 75-centimeter robot could walk and crouch like a spider, kick, shake, and flash its LED lights. The developer admits that making the robot turned out to be more difficult than they had hoped, because the design was not originally intended to be realistic. In the future, Graham plans to improve the robot by giving it more powerful servo motors. The Japanese company Rocket Road has released a line of functional protective suits for robots under the Robo Uni brand. The goal is to give the robots more personality and make the work environment in which they are used a bit brighter. What do you think about this idea? The Hyundai Motor Group unveiled its first project with Boston Dynamics. Meet the new Factory Safety Service Robot, designed to ensure the safety of industrial facilities. We would expect that you'll soon be seeing these also at Kia factories. On Kickstarter, there's a project of a small 4-legged open-source robot Mini Pupper, the creators of the Hong Kong company Maungdang. The small robot with a Raspberry Pi 4 as its brain is based on the Stanford Pupper platform and runs either Ubuntu or ROS. Mini Pupper supports SLAM, which means it can display its environment and learn in real time. It has a camera and LiDAR, it's able to build room maps, and supports navigation. The robot also supports the OpenCV 3D camera module, which allows it to acquire systems for recognizing faces, gestures, object detection, and so on. It can also mimic different gaits. If you want to see more details, we'll leave a link here for you in the video description. Take a look at the world's most walkable robot from Transcend Robotics. It's not afraid of falls or obstacles. Could this be the robot for transportation? Samsung, together with scientists from Harvard, presented a new approach to reverse engineering the brain based on memory chips. The essence of the concept is expressed in just 2 words: copy and paste. In this case, copying of the map of neural connections of the brain is proposed to be carried out with the help of revolutionary matrix of nanoelectrodes. The scientist would then simply paste this map into a high-density 3-dimensional solid-state memory network. With this approach, the authors propose to create a memory chip that will approach the unique computational capabilities of the brain. It will have low power consumption, be easy to learn, adapt to its environment, and even be autonomous and support cognitive functions. Remember that so far, all of this is beyond the reach of current technology. Japan's Tetra Aviation has announced that it will begin delivering single-seat Mk5 vertical takeoff and landing electric aircrafts in late 2022. The device, with a battery capacity of 13.5 kilowatt-hours, can carry a pilot with a paddle of less than 91 kilograms for distances up to 160 kilometers and hit speeds of 160 kilometers per hour. The company recently showed another test of the Mk5 SN2 prototype in the unmanned mode. There's currently some orders for the electric plane, but only customers with a private pilot's license will be able to buy one. This is due to the fact that Tetra Aviation is going to register the device as a homemade experimental model.
So big company.
Engineers with the California Institute of Technology unveiled an updated LEO robot with 2 legs and 4 propellers. The Leonardo robot uses synchronized control of thrusting propellers and leg joints to realize smooth transitions between flight and walking modes. It follows a smooth flight path to the landing point, matches the landing speed to the chosen walking speed, and triggers the walking phase when at least 1 foot touches the ground. After landing, the robot continues walking, tracking its trajectory, and this allows Leo to skateboard and perform other tricks. The downside of this design is that it has to be very light, which reduces the viability of the robot when walking and performing tasks. Also, the thrusters are angled to the hull, which reduces their effectiveness when flying, and as a result, a 2.5 kilogram robot can walk for 3.5 minutes or fly for about 100 seconds. But this project is evolving. Autonomous racing drones have learned to traverse a forested area at 40 kilometers per hour. Conventional obstacle avoidance involves collecting data from sensors, creating a map based on that data, and finally making a plan based on that map. The approach works, but it does take time, so robotic engineers at the University of Zurich partnered with Intel to develop a system in which the drone could perform a direct comparison of the input from the Intel RealSense 435 stereo camera with real-time collision-free trajectories. They were able to do this through simulation. The drone was trained like a real pilot, trying to make mistakes, gradually gaining speed and experience only in simulations. And the engineers managed to make the transition from simulation to real conditions without losing the quality of training.
Why people are choosing this $99 drone over established drone brands.
Did he say white people or white people?
Revolutionary drone at an incredibly low price.
It got me on that one.
Researchers from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have created a robotic system that could find small objects among haphazardly scattered things. The RF Fusion system is a robotic arm with a camera and RF antenna attached to the grip. It combines signals from the antenna with visual data from the camera to locate and retrieve objects, even if the object is buried under a pile of junk and completely out of sight. Of course, the task of finding lost keys is only an illustration of the system's capabilities. However, in the future, it will be used for searching, sorting, and other tasks in warehouses and beyond. DARPA will conduct another test of part of the Offset program. It's quite the experiment to simultaneously control a swarm of 200 robots and drones in urban environments, and that only one operator will be responsible for all of their control. According to Defense News, American companies Northrop Grumman and Raytheon will participate in the experiment. Northrop Grumman will test the RISE system, which allows the operator to set tasks for unmanned systems with the help of sketches on a tablet. Raytheon's role in the test has not yet been reported. Robotire, an automotive robotics company and automation startup out of Detroit, has received $7.5 million to develop its automatic tire-changing system. The company plans to use the money to make its solution more accessible to consumers. Robotire's patented system reduces tire-changing time to 15 minutes. A Saildrone marine drone has been in the middle of a hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean and sent developers a video from inside. The drones are designed to collect autonomous oceanographic and atmospheric data and can stay afloat for up to 12 months. Developers taught the drone to land on a vertical wall and save charge. It seems to be enough to equip the drone with Velcro and prepare the wall. However, it's still necessary to teach the drone to autonomously calculate and perform the landing maneuver on the wall, using its cameras, inertial unit, and computing module. 2 cameras were needed. One looked down and monitored the drone's position, while the other was pointed sideways and monitored the landing pad. Once it understood the position of the pad, the drone was able to calculate the landing trajectory. If the landing is successful, the engines then turn off. A U.S. civilian drone set a new record for the longest time in air. The drone Villa Unmanned spent 8 days and 50 minutes and 47 seconds above the ground, covering almost 20,000 kilometers. At the same time, developers say their device can do better, namely, to fly for 10 days while carrying up to 3.5 kilograms or transfer almost 70 kilograms at distances that can be covered for 3 days. This drone, weighing less than 600 kilograms, can reach speeds of 450 kilometers per hour. The drones were taught to land independently to recharge, so they can work forever without human help. Researchers from RoboWork Lab at the University of Nevada created the Mini-Hawk, a 3D printed vertical takeoff and landing aircraft for research projects. They then equipped it with an open source flight control system and autopilot software. The cherry on the cake was the ability of aircraft-type drones to combine into large models using simple magnetic mounts on wingtips, as well as their ability to migrate. The latter means the Mini-Hawk can land in any suitable place and recharge from solar panels located on its wings, and then rise to the air again and continue mission. But in China, the drones failed. Instead of a light snow at the opening of yet another mall, viewers saw a rain of glowing drones. The drones rained down directly on buildings, cars, and people's heads. Luckily, no one was seriously injured. U.S. engineers unveiled a robot which turns walls into interactive panels by applying metallic conductive traces to them. The device consists of an Arduino board and parts printed on a 3D printer. Instructions for assembling it yourself are available on GitHub. We'll leave you a link in the description. The robot's attached to the wall and can sequentially apply conductive tracks first with metal and then drawings or instructions with regular ink. The desired circuit can be drawn in a simple application, and after its implementation on the wall or other surface, you just need to add a microcontroller or use the service to make the device work. Concern Automation National Engineering Corporation and T-Hunter will create a service to find cyber criminals by analyzing more than 40 public data parameters. In theory, the technology will allow a suspect's email or phone number to be matched against such massive amounts of data, such as IP addresses, payment system information, advertising identifiers, and other aspects. The goal is to help identify suspects' identities. The Marker robotic platform has become the guardian of the Cosmodrome. The robot is now testing autonomous patrol modes, perimeter intruder detection, identification, and interception, as well as anti-drone and anti-terrorist attacks. Cognitive Pilot announced it has signed an agreement with the St. Petersburg tractor plant to begin mass production of unmanned tractors in 2022. The Cairo Vets tractor will be equipped with autopilot systems based on AI. So far, the machines will be able to follow a set trajectory autonomously, automatically control the optimum speed, stop in front of obstacles, and work in low visibility conditions. But in the future, it's planned to install the next version of the autopilot, which will allow the tractors to calculate the optimal route and redefine the course by visual landmarks, as well as to analyze the state of the soil and the crops. Ghost Robotics unveiled a new version of its robot dog at the U.S. Army Association Conference AUSA 2021. Equipped with a 6.5mm Creedmoor assault rifle, the partially autonomous weapon with a silencer and elements of artificial intelligence helped the robot detect threats and can shoot up to 1,200 meters. The Vision 60 robot itself is additionally equipped with day and night cameras. It provides sufficient stabilization of the weapon and is able to continue to perform the task and move even if its sensors have been destroyed. The robot can now only guard a property, but destroy intruders on the spot. Ghost Robotics also showed a variant of its own robot dog with a drone on its back. The Israeli company Rafael Advanced Defense Systems unveiled a new 30mm integrated Samson remote combat station. The system is designed to equip light vehicles. Samson is capable of detecting enemy fire and then responding effectively. It's known that the combat system integrated the Spike LR-1 and 2 multi-target guided missiles, as well as the Trophy Active Protection. Inverness demonstrated a new decision-making and tactics training system in VR. Based on the trainee's actions, the instructor can branch out scenarios to escalate or de-escalate a situation and analyze their decision-making skills. The immersive VR-DT system combines hardware, scalable software, and a growing library of content.
So I've got my essay written, and I've been working on it for about a week. So now I'm going to show you how I use Grammarly to edit. Okay, so here's my essay, and I'm going to click through Grammarly suggestions in the right panel.
General Dynamics unveiled 2 autonomous combat robots capable of routing and engaging enemy targets without operator intervention. The first robot, The Catalyst Next Generation Electric Architecture has a combat module with 30mm automatic cannons and target recognition systems. The second, a 10-ton tracked robot that can carry and launch kamikaze drones, which it directs by itself. Also, the TRX can be used as a reconnaissance electronic warfare and act as ammunition transporters. Kaman Air Vehicles unveiled its cargo-heavy drone with a 300-horsepower engine capable of carrying more than 360 kilograms of payload. The drone is designed to support future Army and Marine Corps operations that involve harsh environments and rapid deployments. Payloads can be carried in a conformal compartment, on external suspension, or in a joint precision airdrop system. In other news, Robotic Systems Lab has revealed its new project. The purpose of the unusual experiment is to investigate the interaction between robots and animals, particularly the four-legged animal and wild monkeys. The researchers wanted to test whether animals would tolerate the robot, accept it as part of their pack, and whether social bonds could be emerged between them. Four-legged robots are becoming increasingly popular, but they are not immune to falls despite their resilience. So, roboticists at the University of Notre Dame decided to teach four-legged mini cheetahs to always land on their feet, just like cats do. To do this, they put the robots in boots filled with nickel. What do you think of this idea? Is it going to hold up? Boston Dynamics has announced a shift to a more aggressive development strategy. The company's CEO told press recently that he planned to commercialize the business, enter new markets, and release new robots every 3 to 5 years. Boston Dynamic projects include logistics, robotization of various industries, and the support of utility companies. But for now, the company is focused on sales of the Robot Spot and the start of the sales of the Robot Stretch, the first deliveries of which will begin next year. But then it plans to switch to highly specialized products, so Boston Dynamics will soon become a mass producer of new robots with advanced capabilities, and at the same time, the company has begun selling its computer vision software to tiny third-party robot manufacturers. The Unither Bioelectronics drone delivered human lungs for transplantation for the first time. It traveled 1.5 kilometers in just 6 minutes and delivered the organ intact, thanks to a special container that maintains temperatures and protects the valuable cargo during vibrations. In the future, United Therapeutics is going to establish the delivery of organs and medicines through North America at distances of up to 320 kilometers. An electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft with a Voigt Schneider propulsion from the Australian company Cyclotech has passed its first flight test. The so-called wingtip propulsor should provide the future of 5-seated aerotaxis with increased maneuverability compared to vehicles equipped with only rotors. The point is that Cyclogyro can steer the thrust vector at any angle the vehicle needs right now, and in this case, the rotation speed of carbon blades is 3,100 RPM and the maximum thrust at 247. Here are the first images of the concept from Infiniti with the QX90 of 2028, a futuristic sedan designed with a view of creation of autonomous driving systems in the future, having appeared in the network. The car will have autopilot level 4.5 and intelligent assistance, which will intercept control of the car if it recognizes signs of fatigue and stress on the face of the driver. For relaxation mode, the sedan's interior includes a panoramic glass roof and 180-degree swiveling passenger seats. By the way, does this concept remind you of anything? The Bank of the United Arab Emirates stole $35 million with the help of a voice deepfake. Not only did the fraudsters synthesize the voice of the bank's head using a neural network to call the bank's manager to tell him about sales deals, but they also used fake emails from the company and its lawyer to convince the manager that the deal was real. In the end, the amount went to unknown accounts around the world, and investigations are currently ongoing. Entech Lab was named the world's best artificial intelligence startup by the first international G20 Innovation League competition. The company developed software for face recognition and intelligent video analytics. This is the second major victory in the international competitions for Entech Lab in less than 6 months. In May, the company won first place in the U.S. Department of Commerce's National Institute of Standards and Technology's Face Recognition Vendor Test Algorithm competition. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech.
Get your zen on. Nice to feel at home everywhere you go.
Drones are being used for more and more tasks. For example, the Norwegian company Nordic Unmanned introduced the Stalker drone for railroad inspections. The multicopter with 4 railroad wheels rides the rails as long as they are clear and takes off when a train approaches. The drone reportedly has a speed of 20 kilometers per hour and ranges of 200 kilometers. Stalker uses cameras and other sensors to inspect the tracks. UAV Factory has created a drone that can stay in the air for more than 14 hours. The Penguin C Mk2 vertical takeoff and landing drone takes off with 4 propellers and then retracts them inward. This reduces drag when flying horizontally and allows the drone to stay in the air 20% longer. The weight of the drone with the 2 beams of composite material is 32 kilograms. The permissible payload at this point is 4.5 kilograms. The Penguin C Mk2 can fly in 15 meter per second winds at a temperature range of -40 to 50 degrees Celsius. It is possible to change the battery of the drone in just 2 minutes. Some recent news in Russia, a drone first saved a drowning man by dropping a life jacket, which allowed the exhausted man to wait for the boat of rescuers. It should be noted that for the first time, drone rescuers have been on duty on the beaches of Russia this year, and now this project has no analogs in the country yet, but it seems that this is temporary. Turkish company Aslan introduced its autonomous surface robot Albatros S, capable of working alone or forming a swarm with other robots. The Robocator is just over 7 meters long and has a displacement of almost 2 tons, including a 250 kilogram payload. A diesel engine allows the robot to reach speeds of up to 40 knots and operate for at least 10 hours. In the pack, Aslan is able to share data from its sensors with other robots to collectively correct course and avoid collisions. Bedrock invites everyone to explore the ocean and map its bottom with its autonomous electric submarine. The underwater robot can collect and process information on its own to then upload it to Mosaic's cloud-based platform. At the moment, 80% of the ocean floor remains unexplored, and the study of one of its areas can take up to 12 months. Bedrock engineers claim that they can speed up the process by a factor of 10, providing data with a resolution 50 times higher than the best publicly available maps. Unfortunately, no technical details of the underwater robot have been reported or released at this time. The startup Gaussen has officially unveiled an autonomous 100% hydrogen tractor equipped with a robotic arm. It's designed for trucks and logistics and e-commerce. ATM Autonomous knows how to connect and disconnect the connectors, connecting the trailer and the body by itself. The vehicle does not need a driver or an operator. However, Robobato can work only on closed territories. Waymo announced a plan to deploy a hub for autonomous trucks in Texas. The center will become a site for hosting and maneuvering hundreds of Level 4 and Level 5 autonomous trucks, which are now actively being tested. The center's location allows it to serve interstate highways, and it's scheduled to launch in 2022. Waymo has also announced it will allow individual passengers to use robotaxis in San Francisco. The Waymo One Trusted Tester program is research-oriented and allows San Francisco residents to take an autonomous ride in a Jaguar I-Pace Waymo all-electric car with a 5th-generation autopilot. And with that said, the first passengers must sign a non-disclosure agreement that prevents them from publicly sharing details about their experience. Bell Helicopter is set to begin production of its V-247 Vigilant tiltrotor drone in 2023. The vertical takeoff and landing drone has the characteristics of an aircraft-type impact drone, and it can reach speeds of up to 560 kilometers per hour, climb to altitudes of nearly 8 kilometers, and stay in the air for up to 15 hours and operate at ranges of more than 800 kilometers. And with the support of a tanker aircraft, the drone will be able to cover 2,500 kilometers and stay in the air 17 hours, carrying on board almost a ton of payload. A modular design will allow it to take on board LiDAR, sonar buoys, missiles, and torpedoes. It can be launched from helicopters and destroyer decks as well as from a transport aircraft. Astro-B robots will search for lost astronaut socks. Scientists have decided to entrust them with keeping the space station clean and operational. In the future, NASA expects to orbit the permanent gateway station around the moon. It will not be a place of residence, but only a transit point for astronauts. And that's why robots are needed to maintain it. During testing, Astro-B has proven they can navigate autonomously around the International Space Station, find and recognize objects, and inspect equipment. But can such babies, even if equipped with robotic arms, handle all the problems on the station? NASA is hoping that Robonaut 2, which, as it turns out, the agency still hopes to return to the ISS for more testing, will help them do just that. And there are other robots that could potentially join the project, one of which we'll talk about below. The SpaceX Dragon spacecraft has delivered a new robot to the ISS. It's the S-1 robotic arm, developed by space robot startup Gitai Japan Incorporated. The robot must prove its dexterity in microgravity inside the pressurized Bishop airlock. Gitai Technical Director Toyotaka Kazuki said in a press release that the robot could become an inexpensive and safer source of labor in space, opening the door to the true commercialization of space. And on Earth, it could be used to assist in natural disasters or nuclear emergencies, where sending people to help could be very dangerous. Alibaba has developed Alice Mind, a machine vision algorithm that can recognize images with an 81.26% accuracy, whereas humans can only recognize at 80.83%. The new algorithm was presented at the Visual Question Answering Challenge 2021, where it won first place. During the competition, they used more than 250,000 images, which algorithms studied and then had to answer 1.1 million text questions about what they saw. The developers are confident that they can further improve Alice Mind's performance in the future. Boston Dynamics Spot Robot arrived at the Ontario University of Technology Engineering building to participate in a 3-year Mars Lab research project. Personally, we like the coloring of the robot, but what do you think of its new costume? Deep Robotics has unveiled a new version of its robot dog Yuying X20. The robot can work in any weather for 4 hours. It can self-charge, see its surrounding in 360 degrees, carry loads of 20 kilograms of cargo, and move at speeds of 12 kilometers per hour. It's noteworthy that the casing's degree of protection stated on the company's website is IP66, which corresponds to complete protection against dust and stormproof against weather. The robot can carry a robot arm and climb stairs. Engineers at MIT at Shanghai Jiao Tong University have developed a soft, lightweight, and potentially inexpensive upper limb neuroprosthesis. The first pilots of the new invention said that they were able to perform everyday activities such as zipping up a suitcase, pouring juice from a package, or petting a cat just as well, and in some cases better than with current neuroprostheses. What do you think of the idea of employing retired industrial robots as workers in community gardens? Zen gardens in Japan are traditionally tended by Buddhist monks who have turned their simple art of raking pebbles into an active meditation. But British artist Jason Bruget decided that robots could do it too. 4 industrial manipulators replicate paintings designed by a neural network. The algorithm analyzes the position of the limbs of athletes performing at the Tokyo Olympics, simplifies their movements, and creates unique designs. Subscribe to the Pro Robot channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech. Leaked news show that the production of the robot Tesla can be established in Texas. The reason for these leaks served as the company's vacancies were posted on public sources. Tesla in general is now actively recruiting roboticists and other subject matter experts needed to develop the promised humanoid robot, which many mistook for a joke by Elon. Additionally, a robotics testing specialist is being sought specifically in Austin, Texas. The ad mentions the prospect of participating in accelerating the production of mobile robotic systems, so apparently robotics are to be. Agility Robotics unveiled a new video of its robot Digit working in a warehouse. As the experts noted, the robot in the video perfectly copes with pulling and dragging containers, performing all operations as correctly and accurately as possible, applying the right effort and keeping its balance in any position. As far as why a humanoid robot is even needed in a warehouse when much cheaper robotic carts already work, there is an answer. DJIT, unlike them, is able to do many other jobs when all the boxes have been moved to the right place. And here we agree with the experts. We hope to see further development with this robot and new working environments. Tesla has announced a wide release of the FSD Beta 10.1 Autopilot on September 25th. At that, selected drivers will have access to the 10th version on September 10, and from the 25th, absolutely everyone will have access to the more advanced version 10.1. True, there is no evidence that this deadline will not be postponed again by Elon, especially against the background of the official investigation of accidents involving electric cars with Tesla that have the active driver assistance system activated, of which there have been 12 reported. SpaceX representatives told the U.S. regulator, the Federal Communications Commission, that Amazon's attempts to block the Starlink satellite launches are a strategy to obstruct competitors in an effort to compensate for its own failures. According to SpaceX representatives, Amazon's track record clearly demonstrates that it lags behind its competitors and actively tries to create obstacles for them in the legal field in order to reduce this gap. It all started when Amazon last week urged the U.S. Federal Communications Commission to reject the SpaceX Starlink plan update. Meanwhile, Kuiper Systems, a subsidiary of Amazon, has its own project to launch communication satellites into low Earth orbit, but its first launches are not scheduled until 2023. By the way, analysts estimate that the satellite internet Starlink could bring SpaceX about $6 billion a year in additional revenue. The Chinese startup XPeng Motors has shown tests of its two-seat electric aircraft, the Voyager X2. The device can fly at altitudes of up to 1,000 meters, and it can reach speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour. The maximum flight time with passengers on board is about 30 minutes. NASA will take part in testing electric aircraft Joby Aviation with vertical takeoff and landing, which has already begun. Experts from NASA want to collect data on the performance and acoustic characteristics, which will be useful in modeling future air transport concepts. In other words, engineers intend to carefully study the performance of the aircraft and compare them with similar parameters of helicopters and other traditional flying machines. One of the advantages of electric flying machines is that they are much less noisy than helicopters, which means they are well suited for flying over densely populated areas.
Now, get 20% off custom-crafted dentures. Book today at aspendental.com.
Flying Ship Technologies is developing the concept of a flying ship for autonomous delivery of cargo by sea. The first test of the vehicle will take place in Greece, and it will deliver goods between islands. The first point is that air delivery is expensive, and sea delivery is slow. A low-flying smart drone capable of moving through the air, taking off and landing on the water, tracking movements of ships and avoiding collisions in real time could be a huge asset and a great solution to the problem. China has revealed its own version of a helicopter for Mars exploration, remarkably similar to NASA's Ingenuity drone. It's reported that the prototype passed final acceptance on August 20. However, the date of sending the vehicle to Mars has not yet been announced. Drones have learned a new trick, delivering 2 parcels at a time. The company A to Z Drone Delivery has created an Octocopter RDSX, able to fly 30 kilometers with 1 parcel or 15 with 2. It does not land on the ground, but lowers the boxes from a height of 46 meters using a cable. The drone is almost 1 meter by 2 meters and can operate completely autonomously or be controlled remotely. Engineers at Guangdong University of Technology in China decided to give humanoid robots another superpower, namely the ability to fly. The Jet HR2 robot has 10 degrees of movement on the ground, as well as 4 channel fans, 2 statically mounted on the robot's belt and 2 mounted inside the feet, which can be actuated by ankle movements. Each fan can generate 5 kilograms of thrust for a total of 20 kilograms, which is enough to lift a 17-kilogram robot. The thrust-to-weight ratio here is low, and therein lies the control problem. Without a lot of extra power, you have to be very careful about how you distribute the thrust. But the system you see in this video is able to effectively suppress diving and spinning, resulting in a stable, though not fully controllable, flight of the humanoid robot. Do you know what the modeling agencies of the future will look like? The startup Hour One pays people for their faces. Literally, the company uses images of real people and deepfake technology to create digital characters with artificial intelligence, who then star in commercials, conduct interviews, participate in educational projects, and create any other digital content. The only disadvantage of this kind of earning is that you'll never know what your digital doppelganger is doing.
I couldn't share it earlier, but
Meet Treddy, the new robot from Heavy Robotics. It's an extremely versatile and maneuverable mobile base, capable of traversing difficult and uneven terrain, climbing stairs, and traversing confined spaces. The robot is easy to step up and combine with other modules and components of Heavy. Personally, we really like the robot. While cute and creepy, it's capable at the same time.
Ready Player One.
Right, like,
The NVIDIA Twitter account posted a mesmerizing visualization of the animal robot learning to walk using deep reinforcement training.
Motherfuckers who building
And
that
not
shit
surprisingly,
completely
the
understand
robot
that
shows
shit.
the ability.
have any
In the United States, Tyndall
outside
Air Force Base showed a video of its faithful security guard, the RoboPass from Ghost Robotics. The military stressed that they have long dreamed of having a worker who would patrol the perimeter of the base 24 hours a day and 7 days a week in all weather conditions. The tactical drone of the future for the U.S. Army is capable of flying 500 kilometers at a time without navigation. The VBAD drone was created by Northrop Grumman and has already passed flight tests. The drone weighs just 38 kilograms with a full fuel tank and payload, and can stay in the air for more than 8 hours, reaching speeds of 167 kilometers per hour at a maximum altitude of 4,600 meters. The flight range is 563 kilometers. The tactical drone features advanced non-GPS navigation and the Shield HiveMind system, which uses machine learning to prepare for new and more complex missions. The Turkish army received the Akini Heavy Strike Drone, developed by Baykar Makina Consortium. The drone, which has already undergone nearly 900 test flights, will be deployed on the Anadolu ship. The drone is powered by turbodiesel engines with 450 horsepower each. Its wingspan is 20 meters and has a payload of 1.3 tons. Developers claim that the drone could fly 7.5 thousand kilometers for 25.5 hours with a payload of nearly 1.4 tons. The maximum altitude of the flight was 11.5 kilometers. Turkish engineers will equip it with an active phased antenna array radar, electric warfare system, and satellite communication equipment for control and transmission of intelligence information. Japanese engineers decided to invent a new way to play badminton that is accessible to all people, even those with partial loss. You can't simply put a drone in a protective housing through a racket, and the system itself will determine the direction and impact by transmitting a command to the drone. What do you think of this idea? Does it have potential? Let us know down below.
Hey video creators, no matter which video you're creating, Vital Elements has everything you need.
It is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass
Meta.
everything.
That's why at the bottom of Instagram and Facebook it says Meta.
And what we hope to build.
And you
I'm proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same. It's still about
Meta.
bringing people together.
Saw it?
Our apps and their brands.
Watch
they're
at the
not
bottom
changing.
of the screen.
And we are still the company
Meta.
that designs
Facebook.
technology around people.
It goes fast, but
I didn't
it's-
see it on Facebook,
Yeah, it
but I
says
saw
the
it on
same thing.
Instagram.
It says from Meta.
Today, we're gonna
It's
talk
not
about
even Facebook no more. So Meta owns Facebook.
important experience of all.
Because Facebook used to own
You know that's
Insta.
some real shit if somebody bought out Facebook.
No, they made a company, and then so Facebook made Meta, and then Meta bought Facebook.
Okay.
The same thing that Google did with Alphabet.
Is this because there's so much question with Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg?
Yep,
Is
so
that
now
to clean it up?
It's another layer. He's another layer removed from that shit.
But he's still deep in that shit.
Yeah.
And he still runs the shit from behind the scenes.
Well, his company does. So Meta is Facebook now. So. But I'm not responsible for Facebook. I'm responsible for Meta. Facebook is one of my subsidiary companies now.
So if they fuck up, I can blame them.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on? Hi, is that Mark? Whoa, we're floating in space? Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from the crater. I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boss, is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
Whoa.
So it's a virtual world where you can be whoever you want to be. A girl, a boy, a baby, a robot,
A baby.
a dolphin.
A dolphin.
You can be whatever you want to do.
I mean, but it's just virtual reality. It's not real. I mean, I know that's to argue.
3D street art. That's cool.
But like, we can't really feel what it's like to be a dolphin. Like, we don't have that technology, so it's like I can be a dolphin, but I ain't never gonna be a dolphin as a dolphin. You know what I mean?
I know you gotta watch Ready Player One again, yo. Really watch that shit. Not just for entertainment, but
When you want to be with other people, when you want to block someone from appearing in your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone. You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the metaverse. Almost any type of media
Just
that
reminds
can be
me
represented digitally,
of the Matrix,
videos,
like,
art, music, movies, books, games, you
what
name
if you so tapped in that you can't even tap back into your other reality? Or, number one,
just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't
right,
need
like,
a
what the
physical
fuck?
TV. It'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world. And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms.
see, once again, the average person thinks about next week, next month, maybe next year. These motherfuckers think about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50, in 50 years, where would this shit be? You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker thinking long-term plans, yo. Long-term plans.
He's talking about holograms and shit. I feel like not only are people gonna like have a hard time going back to reality, I feel like people are gonna advocate towards, like I said, like just being.
We're basically here now. 9 out of 10 people you know cannot function without their phone. I can't function without my phone. You can't function without your phone. We're just one layer away from this. It's not like this shit is so far-fetched. We're already trapped in this fucking digital world.
I just feel like
It's
that's
just in
like
our
where it should
hand.
stop.
And now what they're going to do is take it and just wrap it around you so you just see it all the time so that you don't have to stare down at Facebook. Oh shit, an hour went by. Oh, what the fuck? And you come back to reality. No, it's like now you can.
Overseas, they block that shit.
Now
But that's
you can-
what's like. It's like how do you find a balance? Because it's like, what is the solution? We want to stay in touch with people, and we want to be inspired. And if the government says, all right, y'all live in PA, so you only get to see people's shit in PA. You don't get to see what's going on in Russia. Or you don't get to do this and do that. Then we'd be like, yo, that's our freedom. You infringing on us.
No.
But then now we're just like, we see everything. And it's like, oh, I want to be like that Instagram model. Or, oh, I want to be like that. And all that shit is a facade. So it's like, what's the solution? I love having a
You
phone
can't
and a
be
computer and all of that. But I don't want to be a hologram. And I do think it's pretty cool that a mom is able to like see her kid when they die. But it's also kind of creepy too. Like, and you know all the religious freaks are like, that's against God. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to understand this shit. Like,
Mark Zuckerberg building the future for you.
thanks, Mark.
Any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it. And lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV. It'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world. And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms in augmented reality too. One part of this is Horizon Home, which is our early vision for a home space in the metaverse. Horizon Home is the first thing that you'll see when you put on your Quest headset. Today, there are already a bunch of options to choose from, and in the future,
That's why
anyone will
Facebook,
be able to create
that shit that Matthew had,
We've just
he
called
bought
it
that
home
company.
until
He
now
owns that
because
shit
it's been missing something very
That's how you
important.
do it, by everybody else.
And now you're gonna build you a
Soon,
digital world.
we're going to be introducing a social
Like, so
version of
you can just
Like,
have.
like I
where you
said,
can
like it
invite
sounds like
friends to
fun
join
for
you
like
as
a game, a video
You'll be able
game,
to
but
hang
not
out,
for like
play
some
videos
everyday
together,
shit. Like
and
I don't
jump
know,
into
like
apps together.
I'm excited about it because I want to
There
see
is
it, but I
Horizon
don't want this shit to be our future.
Which is where you can build worlds
Horizon
and jump
Zero
into them
Dawn.
with people. Horizon is designed to make it possible for everyone to create. And we're already seeing people
Reproduction
build
rates
some
are gonna
really
go down.
interesting
People are just gonna
experiences,
fall in
from
love with
creating
that
games
and be like,
together
fuck it,
to
fuck
throwing
people.
surprise parties in VR that family and friends around the world can join. Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're gonna need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day, all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big meeting starts in 10 minutes. Or you're cramming for an exam the night before, but can't bear to keep your eyes open to read one more textbook chapter. Or you're reviewing a dense legal document that could change your life forever. Or you're proofreading your thesis one last time before you submit it.
And as we focused more on
I thought
work,
that was part of it at
and
first.
frankly, as we've heard your feedback more broadly, we're working on making it so you can log into Quest with an account other than your personal Facebook account. We're starting to test support for work accounts soon, and we're working on making a broader shift here within the next year. I know this is a big deal for a lot of people. Not everyone wants their social media profile linked to all these other experiences, and I get that, especially as the metaverse expands. And I'll share more about that later. But I'm genuinely optimistic about work in the metaverse. We know from the last couple of years that a lot of people can effectively work from anywhere. But hybrid is going to be a lot more complex, when some people are together and others are still remote. So giving everyone the tools to be present, no matter where they are, whether it's a hologram sitting next to you in a physical meeting, or in a discussion taking place in the metaverse, that's going to be a game changer. I think this could be very positive.
All right, I do want to finish this, but once again, this is how advanced Ghost in the Shell was, yo. Really?
I thought I heard your ass. Come on. You want to keep running in and out this goddamn house? What? Stop. You are annoying today, boo-boo. Get your paw off me. Get your paw off my chest. You know. Stop looking at my face. Stop.
It's kind of a surprise, isn't it? Him showing up after 6 years? A true understatement.
So this is a scene from Ghost in the Shell, The Laughing Man. And this is how they depicted their chat rooms. And it's everybody's in their own separate space, but they come together in this virtual world. And this is how in-depth and detailed their online chat rooms are. And so when Ready Player One did this shit, it's like, I already seen that in Ghost in the Shell. With the shit that fucking Zuckerberg is talking about, he gets this ideas from this shit too, yo, because Ghost in the Shell already predicted and visualized like of what a virtual chat room could be.
Gentlemen,
Welcome to the Laughing Man room.
It's kind of a surprise, isn't it? Him showing up after 6 years?
A true understatement. I'm telling you, this matter's made the blood of Netmaster Omba boil.
Is everybody here a hardcore Laughing Man freak?
Maybe, but none of them have the guts to come down and assume the floor.
Oh, now don't talk like that.
They'll send a bomb to your email.
Somebody logs in and they just like pop into the chat room like that. Like, alright, now I'm in the chat.
I believe I heard there was somebody in this chat room who would have a few interesting things to say about that Laughing Man business. Who'd that be?
Basically, every person here, you might say. And you might say there's something dumb. What's that supposed to mean?
That's what I say.
So anyway.
Who thinks we have an imposter using the Laughing Man craze for a cover?
But what basis do you have for saying that the Laughing Man's criminal style was simply corporate blackmail? There's the abduction. Wouldn't that be an act of irrationality?
But I don't believe he's committed any impulsive crimes since the CEO kidnapping.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just not cool to manipulate a person to make them kill somebody. The Laughing Man is a super Class A hacker, but the guy never once murdered anybody. Damn, it was getting interesting, but I guess maybe this one is a fake. I guess it's better that way, though. And
I say motherfucking Ghost and shove it on this shit. Battlefield 2042.
Yeah, and then the future where they can hack into your shit and fuck with your brain and take you over.
1,200 years. It is time for us. Now imagine that you have your.
We're gonna find a way to like fuck with our consciousness, like naughty, like without anesthesia and like death and all that shit. They're gonna find a way.
Oh yeah.
And as we focus more on work, and
that's the like most understood thing in science, psychology, everything. Your conscious and
log
conscious.
into Quest with an account other than your personal Facebook account.
What?
We're starting to test support for work.
So you can
accounts
hide
soon.
who you are when
And
you're
we're
on
working
Quest
making
now.
a broader shift here within the next year. I know this is a big deal. Not everyone wants their social media profile linked to
I don't know. I still want the Oculus Quest stuff.
especially as the metaverse expands. And I'll share more about that later. But I'm genuinely optimistic about work in the metaverse. We know from the last couple of years that a lot of people can effectively work from anywhere. But hybrid is going to be a lot more complex, when some people are together and others are still remote. So giving everyone the tools to be present, no matter where they are, whether it's a hologram sitting next to you in a physical meeting, or in a discussion taking place in the metaverse, that's going to be a game changer. I think this could be very positive for our society and economy. Giving people access to jobs in more places, no matter where they live, will be a big deal for spreading opportunity to more people. Dropping our daily commutes will mean less time stuck in traffic and more time doing things that matter. And it'll be good for the environment. We plan to continue to either subsidize our devices or sell them at cost to make them available to more people. We'll continue supporting sideloading and linking to PCs so consumers and developers have choice, rather than forcing them to use the Quest store to find apps or reach customers. And we'll aim to offer developer and creator services with low fees in as many cases as possible, so we can maximize the overall creator economy, while recognizing that to keep investing in this future, we'll need to keep some fees higher for some period to make sure that we don't lose too much money on this program overall. After all, while a growing number of developers are already profitable, we expect to invest many billions of dollars for years to come before the metaverse reaches scale. Today, we're introducing the Presence platform, which is a broad range of machine perception and AI capabilities that empower developers to build mixed reality experiences on Quest 2. Now, you want to tell us more about the Presence platform?
You know, we've said before that realistic presence is the key to feeling connected in the metaverse. And the Presence platform's capabilities are what's going to deliver on that promise. Things like environmental understanding, content placement and persistence, voice interaction, standardized hand interactions. In fact, let's start with hands. I mean, the human hand is an engineering marvel, and bringing hands into VR was no easy feat. It required a lot of collaboration against product, design, research, but we continue to improve that product, finding new ways to navigate with gestures and interact with VR. So today, we're introducing the Interaction SDK, a library of modular components that will make it easy to add hand interactions to your apps.
That's pretty exciting.
But next year, we are releasing a new product that will push the boundaries of VR even further. We've codenamed it Project Cambria.
So this isn't the next Quest. It's going to be compatible with Quest, but Cambria will be a completely new, advanced, and high-end product, and it'll be at the higher end of the price spectrum too. Our plan here is to keep building out this product line to release our most advanced technology before we can hit the price points that we target with Quest. All right, so let's talk about some of the new advances here.
Yeah, sure. There's a ton of new tech going into Cambria. For example, your avatar will be able to make natural eye contact and reflect your facial expressions in real time. This way, people you're interacting with will have a real sense of how you're actually feeling. It does mean building more sensors into a form factor that's comfortable to wear for a while. And because we want VR to be for everyone, we also have to make sure avatars represent a diverse set of human facial features and skin tones, as well as paying attention to things like glasses and beards that may get in the way of some of the sensors.
So that's going to be a big step forward for social presence, and I'm really glad that we're focused on making it inclusive from the start. Now, what about unlocking more mixed reality experiences? I mean, imagine working at your virtual desk with multiple screens while seeing your real desk so clearly that you can pick up a pen and write notes without taking your headset off. Or you're doing a workout with a virtual instructor in your living room.
It's going to be so cool. We're already seeing the potentials of these kinds of experiences today as people are building for a pass-through API. But with Cambria, we'll be taking this to the next level with high-resolution, colored, mixed reality pass-through. We essentially combine an array of sensors with reconstruction algorithms to represent your physical world in a headset with a sense of depth and perspective.
But the ultimate goal here is true augmented reality glasses. And we've been working on that too. And today, I want to show you an experience that we've been working on for Project Nazare, which is the code name for our first full augmented reality glasses. Here, you'll see you're chatting with friends on WhatsApp and planning a game night. You can select a game, and then, as you walk over to your kitchen, you can easily just put your game onto the table and you're off. And that's the kind of experience that augmented reality will unlock. There's a lot of technical work to get this form factor and experience right. We have to fit hologram displays, projectors, batteries, radios, custom silicon chips, cameras, speakers, sensors to map the world around you, and more into glasses that are about 5 millimeters thick. So we still have a ways to go with Nazare, but we are making good progress.
Blow up your sales with a smart marketing platform. MailChimp.
And now there's a new form of cyber matchmaking, college networking websites. Is this perhaps the next big thing? In Hartford, Dan Stillman, co-creator of Wesleyan University's Westmatch.com, and then in Watertown, Massachusetts, Mark Zuckerberg, creator of Harvard's TheFacebook.com. And I guess we'll start with you, Dan. What compelled you to do this?
Well, sophomore year, I was sitting around contemplating a romantic dry spell, and I realized that with my friend Matt, and I realized that it would be easier to find a girlfriend if I could just search in a database for what I wanted.
Did it work?
1, 2... We're still perfecting it.
That's what Westmatch is, right? This is something where people enter all of their information on questionnaires that they kind of fill out for you.
Yeah.
Tell us just a little bit about what Westmatch is.
Sure. People, students at our school and now several other schools, they log onto the site and they answer an in-depth and humorous questionnaire about what they're looking for in others, and they describe themselves and they say what's important. And then our site comes back and tells them they are most compatible people in the entire school. And now, since we've started expanding to other schools, they can now test their compatibility and do other things with students across the nation.
Okay, Mark, we want to get you in here in a second, but real quickly, we do want to talk about what Dan's talking about, some of those questionnaires.